So let's get into this. I saw this short with Deion Sanders talking about why there isn't a lot of black Americans in baseball anymore.
Why aren't there more black players in the MLB?
The reason we're not prominent in it, first of all, we don't have fathers. Second, baseball ain't cool in the hood because baseball take a lot of work, a lot of training. Girls don't dig baseball players. Girls like the physicality of a football player, the dominance that he portrays. Girls are cheerleaders in the sport as well as basketball.
There's a few things that Deion Sanders said that I don't know if it's necessarily true. It's kind of a little bit of a cliche with certain things where about not having fathers and stuff like that. So let me talk about that. So I played baseball when I was a kid. It's one of the, anybody who knows me knows how much I love baseball. I used to play baseball when I was a kid. I started playing around 8, and then I played until I was about maybe 14 or 15. This short kind of reminded me of a conversation I had with my father-in-law about a year and a half ago. We were just talking about baseball and kind of, talking about why there isn't a lot of black players in the league anymore. When I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, when I was playing baseball as a kid, there were plenty of kids that didn't have their father in the household. I knew a lot of people who didn't have their father in the household and still played baseball. I mean, I had my dad in the household, and my dad wasn't into baseball, so we didn't play catch, and we didn't play catch together and all that. He was more into tennis, but at the end of the day, we played outside, so it wasn't like boys got into baseball, black boys got into baseball because they were playing catch with their dads. It was really like, it's something we played in the neighborhood. We played football, we played basketball, and we played baseball all the time. You know what I'm saying? And, so I don't think it's dads not having dads in the house, but I think it's a deeper thing, and I'm going to go over to this podcast with David Justice where he talks about a little bit, and it kind of breaks down the changes in black and urban neighborhoods as why baseball has been on a decline for the past 20 or 30 years. So I'm going to play this for a second. This is David Justice talking about it. And if you don't know who David Justice is, obviously he was, a big amazing player for the Atlanta Braves, and also he was married to Halle Berry. So if you know anything about that, so give him credit for that, especially being married to Halle Berry.
So the question is that anybody would be asking is well, where'd all the brothers go? So I think let's talk about that. One, basketball and football have done such a great job of making their sports so sexy. And if you in the hood, all you need is a football. All you need is football.
Growing up, I was in the hood. In baseball, everybody I just named grew up in my area, but baseball was like, I don't know, baseball was it for us.
So we'll come at that angle then. We'll come at it from that side. So there's this thing called travel ball that came about. Travel ball, you guys, was billed as like AAU basketball type of thing. But what you don't understand is it costs a lot of money to play travel ball. As soon as you start talking about a baseball bat costs $400, you got to have a glove. I don't know what it costs now. You got to have spikes.
Balls.
You got to have baseballs. You got a lot of things you need in order to play baseball. And if you don't have, the family don't have the money, but I just need a basketball, I can go out here and grab that basketball right there and we can go hoop all day.
That is the biggest thing about why baseball has declined. It's become really expensive to play baseball. So when I was growing up, we had a little league, and we had the teams, and they were sponsored by local businesses, right? So they were able to keep the field going, keep the field maintained, have the teams. We had umpires, a lot of people's dads and uncles or whoever, men of the community were coaches on the team. So but it didn't cost a lot of money. I mean, you paid a registration fee and you got your uniform, but it didn't cost a lot of money. You got you a bat for, I don't know, $15, $20 back then. You got a mitt and a bat, and you could play baseball. So baseball was no more expensive than any other sport. But what I see that happened in a lot of the black community is that, for one, you stop having local businesses invest or be sponsors for baseball leagues. So, and also I see they just stopped building the fields. There's just, when you go drive through neighborhoods, especially in the black community, you don't really see a lot of baseball fields. You see some here and there, but you also don't have a lot of baseball leagues.
So that's what has happened, Keyshawn, is because it's become so expensive, brothers just go play basketball. And then another thing too, in high school, all of y'all went to high school. Friday Night Lights football is packed. It's live.
Yeah.
Basketball, the gyms are packed. Go to a high school baseball game.
Man, I got like my parents
it's 50.
Okay. Now, back to Deion Sanders' point. Now, I'll be honest with you. Now, you definitely get a lot more girls if you play in basketball or football. I have to confess to that. I mean, the girls are not flocking to the high school baseball game or little league baseball game. However, that's that's neither here nor there. But I do think that basketball in the black community is definitely a more accessible sport, right? Even more accessible than football, because basketball, you put on some shoes and you get a basketball, you can go play anywhere.
They build facilities in
Yep.
Venezuela,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico,
Yep.
Dominican Republic. They build facilities for underprivileged Latin kids,
Yeah.
which is absolutely great that they do, because they're giving them an opportunity that they would not have because of their financial means. And we see a lot of Latin players come to the major leagues and ball out. Why can't you do that stateside though? Why can't you put facilities in LA and fund them? Put something in the South. Put something, put them, strategically around the country and provide an avenue for us to play like you do in these other countries. Well, Keyshawn, that's be simple to do, right?
It feels that way.
Right? Unless you really don't want to do it.
They do put facilities in other countries. And like you said, it is great, to provide opportunity. But it made me say to myself, I wonder why the baseball system, why there isn't money invested in the black neighborhoods anymore as far as, providing these opportunities. Because I don't think it's that, black American kids don't want to play baseball. I think, like I said, I'm living proof. I didn't play major, but it was a big part of my childhood. I know a lot of kids that play baseball up through high school.
Because it wouldn't be that hard. That baseball got a lot of money. And it could be write-offs. I mean, they got to find write-offs somewhere. So if you're not doing it, it's because you don't want to do it. And why don't you want to do it? Well, we can make it very elementary. Is obviously you just don't want us to play. You don't want us to be a part of it. And now with the money being so astronomical.
David, does Major League Baseball do they view the Latins with the darker skin not black? Do they view that and say we rather put the money into that than the actual communities that's underserved in America where black players can learn how to play baseball?
You know what, Keyshawn, I can't go out on a limb and say that's what they're thinking. But we can make it it's very simple. If you're able to go across the seas and build facilities and dorms over that far away, why can't you just go right around the corner over here and do it right here?
Now, that is so true, So it is a really open-ended question. I love baseball. I don't know if Major League Baseball, why they kind of started ignoring inner city. Maybe they always have, you know what I'm saying? This is something, maybe to look into. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you know of anybody, whether you play baseball or you know of anybody kids who may be interested in playing baseball, and if this is something you've thought about. Again, I always like to think about these things and, put this stuff out there in case anyone else is thinking the same thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Crucial Combo.